Am I the asshole for only inviting my two sisters and brother to my wedding and nobody else in my family? I, 25M, am happily engaged to Clara, 24M, and we're in the final stages of wedding stuff. Invites were sent out recently, and as you can see from the title, this has caused some controversy. To give you the full context, I need to provide background. So, my parents had a unique situation growing up. Sorta like sister wives, but not sister wives. My dad had 4 women he would rotate around and knock up. With my mom, he had Jace, 27M, me, Cassie, 22M, and Robin, 20F. Between the other 3 women, he had an additional 15 children. He's married to none of them, doesn't really live with any of them either, and there were a lot of breakups and makeups over the last 3 decades since this rotational thing started. Sometimes it was presented like we were a big family, but typically the women he was sleeping with at the time was meant to be someone all the kids gravitated toward, and we were meant to have one big sibling bond versus bonds only formed with the kids who shared the same mom. The 3 other women other than my mom are Ellen, 7 kids with dad, Trina, 5 kids with dad, and Elizabeth, 3 kids with dad. Of the 3 other women, Elizabeth is the one who I think hoped all the kids would embrace her and look to her as a second mom. She inserted herself into our lives in some weird ways at times. She also felt that because her kids had the smallest sibling group, they deserved more of us being close to them. Ellen and Trina didn't exactly mistreat us, but I'm not sure they wanted the other kids around either. But they had 7 and 5 kids respectively, so who can really blame them? It was rare my dad would have all his kids under one roof. It did happen at times, but was very rare. He was never a very good dad because he was always more concerned with his dick than his kids. I'm close to my siblings. I consider my siblings to be Jace, Cassie, and Robin. I really don't speak to anyone else anymore. Very rarely. My siblings are the same. We're not close to either parent or anyone else. So when Clara and I were figuring out our guest list, I told her my siblings were the only ones I wanted at our wedding and they're the only people we invited. Then Mom found out via Robin's Instagram about my wedding and she told Dad. He told his other families, and there are a lot of pissed out people who found ways to contact me and told me I should have invited them. Elizabeth was just as upset and angry as my parents were. My mom asked how I could get married without her when she was a consistent adult in my life. I told her she brought us into a mess and willingly exposed us to that mess our whole lives. The messages got so annoying that I deleted a lot of social media. But the anger and frustration from them stuck with me a little and made me wonder, am I the asshole?